Hello everyone, soon welcome to another mod overview, this time on Quanta. A mod that simply adds in a bunch of dungeon focused aspects. So you've got mobs, you've got blocks, you've got loot chests and more, except that I think you have to build it in a way, you're not just going to have it naturally spawn. So take a look at what it does. So you've got a dungeon core, which is a new block made with an eye vendor and other such things. If placed under Y level 30, the dungeon will manifest. And then obviously a certain generated dungeon with blah blah blah. So yeah, so we'll just use this core here and we'll see what happens. Here we go, so now we've got our dungeon ready and obviously the game crashed. Right. So we'll try again and see if one, the world actually still works, or just for example that, you know, after say you come across one already built, then yeah, you can maybe navigate some things. Otherwise though, if I can't really show that, then I'll just show the mobs and other aspects that you can probably get, and even see if the loot that generates and maybe certain loot chests does appear in them, or it's just only in that when it's with the dungeon generation, possibly. But yeah, it does say it's still in development in beta and is unstable, so it is what it is. But yeah, so we'll take a look again and see what happens. Otherwise I have to go to another world and test this stuff out. So let's see, because I assume it's just going to continue the generation of the dungeon and it's going to crash. Yeah. Alright, cool. So we'll go to our other world and we'll do that. And we'll find out what the rest of the mod has to offer instead of just crashing the game often, of course, which is not a good sign, but anyway. Otherwise we'll just go over what's listed here, I guess. So we've got obviously the following, which we've covered. You've got pots, which pretty much I assume have certain loot inside them. You've got a lich boss, you've got a dungeon golem. As guards, you've got a crawler, you've got a Pantheon, you've got loot chests, a mimic. There's obviously a bunch of other planned stuff. Alright, so we'll go to a world that is not that one, so just delete that. So that we don't go to it again, otherwise I don't really need it. So let's see. This one should definitely work because I haven't done anything of dungeon-like aspects in it, so we'll take a look. Alright, so here we go. Let's see. So we'll just do all this stuff above ground then, because that way it won't actually destroy anything, or generate anything, I mean. Alright. Okay, pop randomizer I might want to be careful of as well, I think. So, yeah. So as you can tell by many of the blocks I'm selecting here, you can tell pretty much where certain things will fit in, along with obviously what else you can acquire in the game, in the mod. So let's get the rest of these and we'll be good to go. Alright, so we've got our dungeon stone, which I assume is just going to generate a bunch of blocks you'll typically get in the dungeon. That's just a block here, so you can't create this one, that'll just be one that generates. We've got a key block, which I assume you do not have a key item at all. Oh, okay, and that'll just remove blocks in the area, I assume, to open up pretty much the equivalent to the gate block here, maybe. So we'll just do this and just see if it covers this area, interacts with it at all. Yeah, so we'll just get rid of a 3x3. So if you have a gate block and you have a bunch of these in the area in the dungeon, you can pretty much just click it, I assume. I would also assume that you need an actual key item, or it's just you right click it. No, okay, you can just right click it. Okay. Next we have the dungeon block, which I'm getting attacked by other mobs apparently, so that's awkward. It's not like the spawn eggs just did things. Okay, so dungeon block, that's just going to be another one that sort of generates things, I guess. We've got pots, we'll just break it, I guess, with a pickaxe. don't know what's going on here, but apparently there's something above. So we break this, we've got some flesh, and I assume that all pots aren't exactly the same. We're generating things. 2, 3, randomizer 4, 5. So we want pot 1. So rotten flesh I assume consistently for this one. No string, maybe just mob drops. Flesh, okay, that's what we seem to be getting. Mostly a lot of that. Nope, so we got some iron, so maybe zombie related drops, I guess. Or spider drops, I have no idea. Get all these as well, just to see. Pop randomizer is gonna pick a random one, I assume. Nope, I guess we didn't even do anything there. That's just probably part of the dungeon itself. So we've got this, which is just iron. Assume. No, okay, so the rest of these pretty much just generate the same, I think. Yeah. Oh, so it generates crawler drops. Okay. I guess this one's the same. Yep. And the rest of them are also exactly the same. Maybe there's a chance of a crawler appearing out of them. I have no idea. Let's see. Next we have a block corridor. That'll. Ah, okay, so it's generating them. That's why. Okay, so we can use these to get an idea of what type of rooms they generate compared to the other ones, sort of crashing the game in a way. That's just going to generate that way. Got our boss room one. Just going to generate that way, or below or something. And we've got the boss entrance block. Okay. Ooh, okay, so it's crashing because it's overloaded with generating blocks, not because of the actual structure part itself, just because obviously there's no complex blocks there, it's just a bunch of stone bricks. Okay, so that's good to know. So we use yet another world to actually get this going, and then we'll defeat some of the mobs, of course, and find out what they offer. So, yeah. Maybe it was just because it was generating some of the other stuff, I guess, I don't know. Like maybe the boss room has a crash, I'm not sure, but my guess is it's just overloading the game and it's like, no, I can't generate this much at the same time, what are you doing? So, yeah, we'll take a look at another world. I don't know anyways. We'll go to this one, and we'll spawn in the rest of the stuff we can. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that once you get the dungeon core, it'll obviously do everything it needs to, and the other ones you can just use in creative to sort of experiment. But yeah, for the most part, that's about it for that, I guess. So let's see, Quanta, what else is there? I don't think there's any other recipes. There's dungeon core, everything else is what it is. Yeah, okay, so we'll just get our war axe and a few other stuff. So, ancient helmet, we'll get our different mobs, and that'll be that. I could generate some of the stuff, but it'll probably just be, you have pots, you have corridors, you have this, that, and the other there, so it's not going to be much of anything amazing. So that's a mimic, and we are in peaceful, so that makes sense. So you're just a fairly, not exactly that normal, but kind of normal chest. You drop loot, and there's a chance of mimic. Okay. Got our war axe, which does 10 damage to them, and doesn't drop anything possibly. And obviously I will test with them. No, okay, so maybe nothing there. Alright, so let's see. We'll go to time, set day. Get rid of the zombie, because we don't need you. And we'll clear the rain, because we just want certain other mobs to spawn, which I don't think many of these are going to burn in daylight, but who knows. Alright, so we've got our chest, which is just that. Okay, so that's going to happen. Can we get a mimic? There we go. Are you going to attack me? What if I... Only when I attack you. Interesting. So you jump from the ceiling. Interesting. From the sky, I mean. Great, so that makes you kind of difficult to target. Unless you're in water, then you sink. Interesting. Or you're easier to defeat that way. So nothing. Maybe they just don't drop anything at all. They're just there to annoy you. So you get fairly alright loot. It is obviously randomized accordingly, and not exactly the same as other loot in the game, I think. Maybe just a bit more spread out, who knows. If you find a war axe, I assume, you can obviously enchant it with a bunch of things, similar to a sword. Has 300 durability, 10 attack damage, 1 attack speed. And then we've got our other mobs, of course, being the Pantheon. I think that's it. So they have 30 health. So they have the war axe, obviously. And armor. And drops rotten flesh. They obviously deal quite a bit of damage if we're not careful. The ancient helmet, I assume, drops from them. It has 275 durability, 2 armor, and can be enchanted the same as a helmet. So just get these. And we're gonna need some health. Oops. There we go. Right. Cool. Alrighty. Next, we've got the Kamikaze, which is just like so, and does 10 health, and also can somewhat defeat itself. Not careful. Not careful. Alrighty. So just get this, and we'll actually get it again, just in case, so we can actually see if we can defeat it before it explodes. And nothing drops from it. The Lich is the boss fight. The Crawler, which is like so, which has 10 health. And then we'll just do this and see how much damage it is. Not too bad, it's still quite tough. And just drops flesh, maybe the same as what we saw in the pots, I think. Got the Dungeon Golem, which is 10 health apparently. It doesn't care about you at all until you hit it, and then drops possibly nothing, I guess. I don't know. Nothing, and the Lich, which has not that much health I assume either, but either way. Boop. Alright, so we'll get our bow out. And a bunch of arrows. I don't know if undead will work. I'm gonna drown if I'm not careful. Yep. You're gonna try and follow me. That's fine. Potatoes will do. Actually, a golden carrot would, but either way, just the go-to, really. Apples. Enchanted. Yep, so they're just gonna sit there. Cool. I assume they have like 100 health or something. No? Not that much. Probably very little at 10 health or something. Because obviously they aren't finished yet. Okay, and defeated. So if we go again, we'll take a look at what they actually have. Underwater. So they have 50 health. Okay. I'm just gonna keep taking me out, are they? Alright. So yeah, I assume they just have like a fire arrow projectile sort of attack or something. Fire charge attack? Something like that? Either way. I don't think I saw them drop there. That was just a fish. Yep, so they don't have drops yet. Either. But again, most of the stuff will be added in later. Thanks so much for watching, and goodbye.